5 signs a woman wants to kiss you before she even says a word. Have you ever been in that moment where the air is thick with tension? Her eyes are locked on yours, and for a split second, it feels like time slows down. You think she wants you to kiss her, but then doubt creeps in. Am I reading this right? What if I misinterpret the moment? So instead of making your move, you hesitate, and just like that, the moment passes, but that ends today, because in this video, I'm breaking down the 5 undeniable signs that she's waiting for you to make a move, and trust me, once you recognize them, you'll never hesitate again. Oh, and stick around till the end, because I've got a bonus sign that's even stronger than the rest. If you miss this one, you're leaving a lot on the table. Let's get into it. Welcome to AIMA, your go-to channel for real, relatable advice on navigating the complexities of love and relationships. Sign 1. She keeps licking or lightly biting her lips while looking at yours. There's something almost hypnotic about a woman's lips when she's attracted to you. And if you know what to look for, they'll tell you everything women subconsciously lick or bite their lips when they're interested in someone. It's not something they plan, it's instinctual. A primal signal of anticipation. She's drawing attention to her lips because on some level she wants you to notice them. But there's also a biological reason behind this. When attraction kicks in, the body releases adrenaline and dopamine, 2 chemicals that trigger excitement and anticipation. But here's the side effect. It dries out the mouth. That's why she suddenly licks her lips when she's around you. It's her body reacting to the chemistry between you two. Now, let's put this into perspective. Imagine this. You're sitting across from her at dinner, the conversation is flowing. You make her laugh and suddenly she bites her lower lip for just a second before looking at your lips. It's a subtle move, barely noticeable unless you're paying attention. But here's the thing, it's not random. That's attraction manifesting physically, and this is where most guys get it wrong. A lot of men assume that if a woman is nervous, she's not interested, but nervousness and attraction often go hand in hand. If she's feeling the tension, if there's anticipation in the air, she might not be able to sit still. Maybe she fidgets, maybe she plays with her hair, and yes, maybe she bites her lip without even realizing it. So what would you do if you catch her doing this first? Don't ignore it. This is one of those signals that's meant to be noticed. Second mirror. Her energy, slow down, drop your voice, just slightly, hold eye contact a second longer than usual, and here's a power move when you speak. Let your gaze drop to her lips for just a moment, then back to her eyes. If she's into you, she'll notice this. This is how you create tension. This is how you build anticipation. And if she keeps doing it, that's your green light. And sign to she moves unusually close while maintaining intense eye contact. Personal space is a big deal. People naturally create invisible boundaries around themselves, and we only let certain people into that space, especially when it comes to intimacy. Women in particular are very intentional about who they let close if she's moving in. Closing the gap between you and maintaining strong eye contact. That's not random, that's deliberate. Think about it when you're around someone you have zero romantic interest in. Do you lean in close? Do you let your legs brush against theirs? Do you hold eye contact longer than necessary? Probably not. In fact, you likely do the opposite. You maintain a comfortable distance, but when a woman is attracted to you, she shrinks that distance. She tilts her body toward yours. She positions herself just close enough that you feel her presence. Maybe it's a crowded space, but she doesn't move away. Maybe you're sitting side by side, and instead of keeping a safe distance, she angles her body toward you. These little movements are all silent invitations. And when this happens, the most common mistake guys make is misinterpreting it. A lot of men struggle with differentiating friendliness from attraction. The key difference, a friendly woman respects personal space. She might smile, chat, and even joke with you, but she won't intentionally move closer unless she has to. A woman interested in you will find subtle ways to break that invisible barrier. She'll shift just a little closer than necessary. Her body language will be open, engaged, and slightly forward. So what do you do if you notice this? Hold your ground. If she's leaning in, don't pull away. Let the moment breathe, and most importantly, don't rush. The best kisses aren't taken. They happen naturally in moments of connection. The more comfortable you are with the tension, the more inevitable that kiss becomes. Sign 3. Her breathing becomes slightly deeper and more intentional. There's something incredibly revealing about the way a woman breathes when she's drawn to you. You might not notice it at first because it's subtle, but it's one of the most telling signs that she's feeling the moment. Here's what happens when a woman is anticipating intimacy. Her breathing changes, it slows down, becomes deeper, more intentional. This isn't a conscious decision, it's biological. When emotions rise, when there's tension, and when excitement starts building, her body naturally prepares itself for what comes next. This is why breath control is such a powerful tool in attraction. Slower, deeper breathing signals, relaxation and openness. Faster, shallow breathing signals, nervousness or discomfort. When a woman is into you when she's in that moment, you'll notice her shoulders rising and falling. Just a little more, she exhales slower. She's in sync with the energy between you. Now let's put this into perspective. Imagine you're sitting next to her. The conversation fades for a second, and in that moment of quiet, you notice a shift. She takes a slow, deliberate breath, almost like she's grounding herself in the moment. It's not random. That's her body reacting to the chemistry between you. But here's where most men miss the mark. A lot of guys are too caught up in their own thoughts, overthinking, whether she's into them, wondering if they should make a move, questioning everything. Accept what's happening right in front of them. They ignore these tiny physiological shifts that show she's getting lost in the moment. So what should you do? Match her rhythm. If she slows her breathing, do the same. Let the moment breathe. Don't rush it. Hold the tension just a second longer than you normally would. Let her feel the weight of the silence, the anticipation. Because when you understand this, you'll realize the best kisses don't happen because of words, they happen in the space between them. Sign 4. She slows down her speech and lowers her voice. Attraction isn't just about what she says, it's about how she says it. And if you're paying attention, her voice will tell you exactly how she feels. In the moment when a woman is drawn to you, one of the most natural things she does is soften her voice. She slows down, her speech becomes more deliberate with her words, and without realizing it, her tone drops slightly. This isn't something she's planning, it's instinctive. A natural part of human attraction. There's actually a scientific reason for this. Studies have shown that when a woman is interested in someone, her voice subtly lowers in pitch. Why? Because a deeper, more controlled tone signals warmth, intimacy, and seduction. It's a subconscious way of pulling you in. And here's where this becomes really interesting. Imagine you crack a joke. Normally she'd laugh out loud, maybe throw in a playful remark, but this time she leans in. Just a little, tilts her head slightly, and instead of laughing, she just smiles and softly says, "You're so funny." That shift from playful to intentional isn't random. That's her moving from casual interaction to intimate connection. But this is where a lot of guys make mistakes. Most men are too focused on what they're saying next. To even notice this shift, they keep talking fast, filling every silence, changing the subject, when they should be leaning into the moment, and when you miss this, you break the flow of attraction. So what should you do? Instead, mirror her energy. If she slows down, you slow down. If she lowers her voice, let your tone drop slightly too. And here's a power move. Pause before you respond. Let her feel the silence between your words. Make her wait for what you're going to say next. Because when you master this, you're no longer chasing the moment, you're creating it. Sign 5. She finds a way to touch your face or neck. Casually, a woman's touch is never random. It's intentional, subtle, and in the right moment, it's an unspoken invitation. Think about it. People naturally have boundaries when it comes to personal space, especially around the face and neck. We don't just go around touching people in these areas unless there's a deeper connection. So when a woman finds a reason to touch your face, adjust your collar, brush something off your cheek, or lightly touch your neck, she's not just being polite, she's testing the waters. This is one of the most intimate ways a woman signals that she's ready for a kiss. Let's put this into perspective. Imagine you're laughing together completely in the moment, and out of nowhere she reaches over, maybe to fix an imaginary piece of lint on your jawline, or she lightly brushes her fingers near your neck as she leans in. That's not an accident. She's creating intimacy. closing the physical gap and seeing how you'll respond. Now, here's where a lot of guys get it wrong. Some men overreact either by pulling away too fast, acting awkward, or freezing up completely. Others don't react at all. They just keep talking as if nothing happened, completely missing the signal. And when that happens, the energy shifts, and she starts second-guessing whether she should have done it in the first place. So what's the right move here? Let the moment linger, and instead of pulling back or acting surprised, hold her gaze, let her see that you felt it. If everything else aligns, the eye contact, the body language, the atmosphere, this is when you make your move. Because here's the truth. If she's comfortable enough to touch your face or neck, she's comfortable enough to let you kiss her, she's already told you what she wants. The only question left is, are you paying attention? Bonus sign. She stops talking and just looks at you when a woman suddenly stops talking, mid-sentence even, and just looks at you. She's not searching for words. She's waiting for you to do something. Silence is the loudest signal in attraction. It's the moment where everything else fades, the noise, the conversation, even the background distractions, and all that's left is the undeniable tension between you. And if you don't recognize this moment, you're missing the clearest invitation of all. Think about it. If a woman wasn't interested, she'd feel the silence. She'd keep the conversation moving, shift topics, or check her phone. But when she suddenly goes quiet, when she just gazes at you, when the atmosphere shifts into something heavier, she's telling you without words, I want you to kiss me now. Here's what you don't do. You don't overthink some guys. Panic, they start talking just to break the silence, crack a joke, or change the subject. But all that does is kill the moment instead. Hold her gaze, let her feel the weight of it. And if everything else aligns, if the body language is there, if the moment feels right, close the distance, slowly. Let the moment guide you, because this isn't about guessing anymore. She's already giving you her answer. If you made it this far, you're officially part of our real community. So drop the word kiss in the comments below to let me know you're here. I love seeing how many of you actually stick around till the end. It means you're serious about leveling up in your dating life. And if you found this video helpful, hit that like button. It's the best way to support the channel and help more people see this content. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss out on our daily confidence and dating tips. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, share it with them. You might just save them from missing their moment. Oh, and before you go, we've handpicked another video just for you. It's right there on your screen. Click it now and I'll see you over there.